Hey YouTube, this is a walkthrough on how to do or how to create a mining specialized city. This is in the semi-new region of Granite Lake, and I'm choosing Boone because it has reasonably high amounts of both ore and coal. And speaking of new stuff, one thing I'm still waiting to hear about is like a decent expansion pack for this game. Like, I've been doing some research on it, well, not really research, I've been looking it up, like to try and find out when an expansion pack for this game is coming up. And as far as I can see, I read that Maxis sent out like a survey asking like gamers what they were wanting in SimCity. And I'm just going to have a quick look at that now. So I'm actually SimCity expansion pack. SimCity survey unveils possible offline mode DLC's expansion pack. That was July 5th. What's going on about the amusement park expansion pack? I did. So this is ibtimes.co.uk. Electronic Arts is expected to roll out a few additional features for its SimCity. For SimCity's next expansion pack, the simulator game's developer recently sent an email to its registered online players requesting them to take part in a survey to address user wants. According to a survey by SimCity, new features include farms, transit lines, underpasses and one-ways. Including these features will make situations in the game more realistic. Cheat codes were also demanded by gamers to gain access to other content in the game. Introduction to Classic Mode has been mentioned in the customer survey. The mode includes a fully detailed single-player game or for the user in offline mode. It is speculated that the offline mode of the game will not be available in the next expansion pack. Lucy Bradshaw, General Manager of Maxis, a subsidiary of Electronic Arts, denied the rumours of single-player offline mode and made it clear that the gamers will need an online connection to play. Okay, so that's basically the overview of the article. I might include that in the description. Okay, so back to the actual gameplay. When I make mining cities, first I check out where the actual mining resource is located on the map. Then I build the roading around it. So obviously in the center of that rectangle there is going to be the mines. So I always like to, I plan what I have an idea of what I want my city to look like first, and then I kind of start creating that. So pretty much, oops, sorry, a bit wobbly there with the camera, not really used to, kind of forgot about the controls. I've been playing The Sims 2 before I've been playing this game, so that's why I'm a bit iffy with the camera. At the moment I'm kind of building the CBD first, so that's usually one thing that I do, like the central business district or the main city centre I always build first and then I build out. Given the limited space we've got to build in, I try and be as practical as possible, practical and realistic, because I like my cities to look good. I'm not really wanting them to just look like a random bunch of high-rises in the middle of nowhere. I like to give them some sort of as much realism as I can. So it's really a no-brainer to have a coal-powered plant in a mining city. Mines release ground pollution, so it's not really a practical idea to have a mine city and then try and make it a green city as well. It just isn't really going to work because the mines produce ground pollution, and I think industry, like you're going to get a lot of industrial demand with having mines on the in your city, and then yeah, so it's more like the industry, the factories feed off the mines, and vice versa. Maybe not entirely 100% sure on that, but regardless, just don't. Yeah, it's if you're going to have a mining city, it's most likely going to be a dirty city. That's the moral of my story. So I'm just doing grid layout. Grid layout's the easiest. I do curved roads around the edges of the city, and then as I go further out, just to give it a bit more realism, I try and do like branches. Almost like sometimes the outskirts, very outskirts of my city, look like tree branches. Because if you notice, like if you go to Google Maps and stuff, and you look at a city, a lot of the central business district is grid, and then the outer suburbs and new developments will all be just random squiggly lines, and it kind of looks like a tree. It reminds me of a tree. So this is where I put realism to my cities. It's getting inspiration from other cities, actually. I should say that. So of course, keeping sewerage away from your residential area. Just doing some industrial. And when you do commercial, some people I've noticed don't do this, but when you want your commercial to be successful, so the blue, what should we call it, the blue zoning, when you want commercial to be successful, it always pays to have it in busy areas of the city. So as you can see there, I didn't put my commercial on the very outskirts of the city or the very outside of what I'm building so far. I put it in between residential areas and close to where people will be going to work. The reason being is because the Sims are more likely to stop at the shops on their way to work, and if the shops aren't on their way to work, then the shops are going to struggle to have shoppers, and then they're not going to be very successful. So it's always good to have them kind of like in between your industrial, or so in between your industrial and residential, or if you say have an all residential city, and your workers are leaving the city to go to work, then maybe have some commercial around the city exit. So yeah, so the more people that are driving past these businesses, the more likely they are to shop there, and the more likely the commercial is to be successful. So now I'm actually plopping my first mine. So it's important when you are plopping a mine to make sure you have room to expand it. As you can see there, I've got a lot of room. I put it right in the corner there. I made sure that I'm on a spot where there's a lot of coal available. And what I've also done with the trade depot is I've made sure that it's really close to the mine, because you want to reduce the freight trips as much as possible. So try and have your mine as close, try and have your trade depot as close to the mine as possible, and have it so that your trucks, your freight trucks, have easy access out of the city. One thing that I haven't done, or that I'm not about to do, is open up the export part of the trade depot and actually arrange for the coal to be exported so that I get money for it. I do realise this later on in the game while I'm playing it, but I just don't do it immediately. I started wondering, like, why am I not making any money out of this coal, and why is it saying that it's full? And then I just realised, because I haven't set up the coal to be exported. So yes, I do realise I did make a mistake, and I do the exact same thing with the other mine that I open up as well. So bear with me, I hadn't played this game for a few weeks. Now, mining-based cities, you don't really want to be too worried about making rich sims, so you're more looking towards accommodating low-wealth sims, mainly because there's a lot of pollution involved in making mining cities, and the only ones that really tolerate pollution are the low-wealth residential sims. So yeah, so I'm not really, like, I put a few parks. Actually, I don't think I've built them yet, but I do put some small parks just the low wealth ones. I don't really pay much attention to bringing education or safety, like I build a fire station, a police station, hospital, a medical clinic and a school, and that's about it. I'm not really interested in wealthy sims for the city. So yeah, because I don't. If you do try and make wealthy sims, then they will end up complaining about the pollution, and then they will end up abandoning their houses. So you just end up with a whole bunch of abandoned middle or high wealth houses. So it's not really worth it. It's also really important to make sure that your city has a lot of access to water, your mining cities especially, because the mines do use a lot of water. So it is good to kind of plan that out, you know, where you're going to get your water supply from before you start building all these mines. This lot here doesn't actually have a lot of water on it, which is kind of a downside. So I probably won't be able to build too many mines on it. Before you know it, by the time I've got all these mines built, most of my water supply is going to be running out and I'm going to have to put water tanks in the middle of the city. And supposedly there is a cheat to get groundwater from polluted water. So like you have, for example, if you have like a sewage outflow pipe, then you put a water, what do you call it, a water tank, not water tank, not the water tower, but the bigger one, I'm going to call it just the one with more capacity. You put that over the polluted water and then you put a water treatment facility and over the polluted water, and then that actually is meant to be an unlimited water supply. I don't know if that's been fixed in any updates or if that's actually been done on purpose. But I think I saw a YouTube video at some stage. Okay, so I'm eyeing up this next piece of land here because there's a lot of ore. So this is where I'm going to place the ore mine. I'm going to have a single road for the meantime. I'm really fussy about how I place my roads. Okay, so a single road. Eventually I double connect it, so I think I have about 3 ways that you can get to the mine. Because I do place some industrial buildings as well, and then just traffic goes absolutely berserk. So of course keeping in mind where the actual ore is located, so you don't want to be building like important buildings over that, because then you're going to have to demolish them, or you don't want to develop a lot of like residential or commercial or industrial over there, because you're just going to have to end up demolishing it. And if you've got some cool buildings that you've built on this site, then it's going to be a shame when you have to bulldoze them because you need access to more ore. So I do just taking care of the rubbish at the moment. So when I do my themed cities, I usually have like the actual themed specialization buildings in the very center of the city, because I think it would be really cool, like if there was like a mining city that actually existed. I don't know, maybe there are, I don't know any. I live in Melbourne, so it's a very commercial city. But for example, if there was like an actual mining city in real life and you were driving in the main city part, and in the CBD there were like mines amongst factories, amongst office buildings, amongst high-rise like apartments and stuff, I think that would just look really cool. Like, it would look really dirty probably, but in my mind I think it would look absolutely beautiful. It looks good in the game, like it does. So that's pretty much how I like to build my mining cities. Okay, so now I am plonking the mine in the most obvious place where most of the ore is, so plonking that, plopping, not plonking, ploppable, because it's a ploppable building, so I'm plopping it. So plopping that, and I'm just going to put a little bit of development down those ways eventually.
Perdone, ma fuego.
So now I can actually build the metals HQ, so that once it's upgraded the first time, so this is pretty much it in its basic state. Once you earn a certain amount in profit in the ore and coal mining sections, then you're actually able to upgrade the metals HQ, so it just adds extra stories to it, so it makes the building taller, but it also allows you to build a smelting division. I think it's called the smelting division, the engineering division, and I can't remember what the third one's called. But once you build one of those, they actually give you options to build more things. So once you build, for example, the smelting division, you can build the smelting factory, which in turn gives you more profit because you smelt the ore and the coal to produce other products, which are of course more valuable than just plain ore and coal on their own. So now I'm building another trade depot, and I'm also going to reshuffle the other one, so I'm going to make it so that the ore is close to the ore mine and then the coal is close to the coal mine, because I have an ore, what do you call it, an ore loading bay attached to the coal one. It's really funny because I'm doing I'm not doing live commentary, and then I'm watching my gameplay and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, so it's changing that to coal only because it's close to the coal mine, and then changing this to ore only. Okay, so now that I'm making enough profit in ore and coal, I'm able to upgrade the metals HQ, and that allows me to build the engineering division, the smelting division, and the commerce division. So I'm building the smelting division first so that I can build the smelting factory to get more money. So this is my walkthrough video coming to an end. Feel free to subscribe for more videos, and thanks a lot for watching.